Hello, and welcome to a new episode of the Appelboom Bites podcast. This is the first episode and already a highlight of 2023 because we have two amazing guests with us on our show today. And let me introduce you to them. The first one is our co host. She is also known as the Pen Gangster, and her name is Vanessa Langton. Welcome, Vanessa. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yes, I'm great. So, how was your New Year's Eve, Vanessa? Did you had a lot of fun?
It was so exciting. I sat on the couch and I watched TV, and then I went to bed at 11 o'clock and went to sleep.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. That's really spectacular. And we have a really special guest, Vanessa, today on the show, on our first show of this year. And it is Michael, also known aka Scrivelly, on YouTube and on Instagram, other social medias. And Michael, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm very good. Thanks, guys. Happy New Year to all of you as well.
Yeah, thank you. Happy New Year. It's so great to have you here. So, Michael, a little bit of a background information about you. So, you live in Sweden, but you are German, right?
100% right. Yeah, I live in Stockholm, but I'm since 10 years, but I'm originally from southern Germany by the Lake of Constance.
Okay, perfect, perfect. Thank you. So, what we always do is a little pen check before we start the whole podcast thing.
The pen check.
And Vanessa, I would like to ask you to start with your pen check.
First of all, I have to ask, who is the guy that says pen check, who does all the announcements for the segments? I'd just like to give him a what's up.
I'm sorry, that's 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 classified information.
That's
I cannot share it
classified.
with you,
Well,
or or we have to kill
he's
you.
terrific.
Yeah,
He does a great job. I just need to know who that is. He's got a great voice.
I will make sure that I will make sure that he sees this.
But
Okay,
Joost, you can
thank
say
you.
it right here, and we promise you that we won't put that video on
Yeah.
YouTube.
All right. My pen check of today is the brand new Mont Blanc 149 calligraphy with the curved nib. It's really elegant and it's a lot
Oh
of fun to write
wow,
with. Yeah, it's I just got it
Nice.
not that long ago and it's got a big number 8 nib on it. And it's kind of an
that's
interesting
amazing.
pen because it is when the way that the nib is, it's kind of like a fusion between a Fuda nib and an architect. So it writes like across, it's a very wide line, and up and down it gets
Hmm.
very narrow. But if you move the nib at an angle, it starts acting like a futa nib where the line will get narrow or wider. So it's a very interesting concept behind this nib, but it's a lot of
Reminds
fun.
me like one of these sailor special nips, right? I don't know what that one is called. Is it a Naginata something something that or Cross Concord or whatever it's called?
Yeah, kind of. It's really, I don't know. It's very interesting. But yeah, you're right. It's kind of like a naginata type of nib. And if you're a person who likes line variation, or if you even like to sketch, this is a great nib for that because you can get so many different line variations, and it even does some nice reverse writing. So I mean, you can
Can you
really.
use it for everyday writing as well, or is it more like a special occasion, arty, sketchy
Um,
kind of drawing pen?
I wouldn't use it for every day because unless you have really big handwriting and you like a really broad, juicy nib, because this is almost like it's like a double broad to me. It's really
Hmm.
it lays on a really thick line. So for some people, like if you do journaling, it would be great for like your header stuff like that, or to underline certain phrases. It's great for that. But I've had a lot of fun with it. It's really been a nice addition to my collection.
It is a beautiful
Cool.
pen indeed. We will talk later about this pen more because actually this was part of our new products little thing. But you already stole the show. That's okay, Vanessa.
You're
You can do
welcome.
that. Michael, let's go to your pen check.
Yes, I think it's maybe a little bit boring, and I guess to everyone that follows my channel regularly, that won't come as a surprise because, of course, it's the Lamy 2000. My, after years and years and years of fountain pen usage, still and perhaps ever will be all-time favorite fountain pen, uh, because it's just the best pen that the world has ever seen, I believe. Uh, the bang for the buck, the design from the 60s, Bauhaus, there's everything about this pen is perfect, I think.
I
I can
haven't tried
completely
that
agree
pen
with you on
yet.
that. Wow, really?
Really,
How
I
is that
just I
even
haven't
possible?
tried. I know I need to, and everybody recommends it, and it's a fabulous looking pen. I love that hooded nib. It's really cool.
You can already sneak that into the New Year's pen resolution thingy or something like that if you
I
want to. You
will.
have
It's
my
on my
okay.
list. It's definitely on my list.
I mean, seriously, this is the best
Guys,
pen
you,
ever made. It's just absolutely fantastic. I mean, piston filling, the bang for the buck, the nib ride's amazing. It's super understated. You can use it in any setting, everywhere. It's and nobody will think that, oh my god, what a flashy fountain pen. And you just pop off the cap, and it's just ready to ride, and it's so reliable. And a lot of people talk about a sweet spot. It's a little bit true, but I would say that 85% of people will, with no problem, doesn't matter, left-handed, right-handed, will be able to write with that pen and will be super happy with it. And by the way, you get it in nibs, I think, from extra fine all the way up to oblique double broads and all that kind of crazy
Ooh.
stuff. So I think everyone will find a nib to their liking. And the beautiful thing is that in the beginning, it's matte, but the more you use it, the more it gets like shiny, kind of glossy, wabi sabi style a little bit. And then you have that ink
mhm.
window and a piston filler and a lot of ink capacity. I'll stop now because otherwise I talk about that pen your whole show. Yours, sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. I was just asking myself, Michael, do you have shares with Lamy or something that you're such a great
No,
salesperson
no,
for
not
their
yet.
brand?
I
Or
need to suggest it to them. Thanks.
it's crazy. You know how you talk about that pen. I want to buy one. I want to buy one. I have a store full of them, but now I want to buy one.
But I can do it like the
You,
football players, Somewhere in the middle of the podcast, I just like lift up my pullover and under it I have a T-shirt with a huge Lamy logo.
That would be amazing. That would be great. That would be great. What
that would
nib
be
do you
very
have
cool.
on your 2000 today?
I have one with a fine. That's that one. That's my first one, and I have a second one with the extra fine, and a third one with a broad, and a ballpoint, and the
But which
mechanical
one do
pencil,
you?
and the rollerball.
Of course. But which one do you use the most?
It's the fine nib fountain pen that works best for everyday
Yeah.
note taking and for my handwriting. Yeah.
Okay, amazing. And so you have extra fine, fine, and broad. Why not the medium?
Good question. Good question. Maybe I need to solve that problem.
That needs to
Yeah,
go on your
there's a whole
list
year
for
to
this
solve that
year.
problem.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good point, Vanessa.
definitely, definitely,
Definitely good
definitely.
point.
All right, let's go to my pen check first before the show is already ending. I have a very special pen here with me today. I have the Joya here with me, and I don't know if you can
Mm,
see it, but this is a wonderful colored
Ooh.
wow, nice.
fountain pen. And I brought this pen here with me today actually because I don't know how to say this in the English word for it, but at the end of each year, you always have to count your whole stock to see if all the products that you have in your stock list are also actually there. So yeah, that's what we did. And this treasure one, I found one on a shelf, but it was hidden after some other pens. So I was like, okay, this is not the pen that I'm counting right now. So let me check it out which one it is. And it's the Capo di Monte, the Van Gogh version. And it definitely looks like a Van Gogh with all the colors. It has blue, green. It is a little semi-translucent as well. It really is a beautiful nib. And the good thing is that it is I think it's a piston filler. I'm not sure actually.
I
Let me
love
check that
Joya
right now.
pens. They're great pens.
Yeah, cool looking
Yeah, they're
pen.
amazing.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But I know the process that you talked about. When I worked in a stationery store many, many years ago in Germany, the word is Inventur, where you have to count all the things. And I had the pleasure of doing that a couple of times myself. It's fun. You find interesting things.
It's the most horrible job of the year, but it needs to be done.
It needs to be done.
Yeah. Vanessa, you the art expert. What do you think of this Joya being a representative of a Van Gogh?
I think it's pretty. I think the thought is there for sure. I mean, it's hard to replicate any of the the textural paint application that Van Gogh did. Or how do y'all say Van Gogh over there? You don't say it the same, right? It's like Van Gogh, or how do you say Van Gogh
Yes,
over
actually
there?
it's Van Gogh, but
Van Gogh,
yeah, you can try it. Van. Yes. Wow. Well, actually, that's pretty good.
Van Gogh. Yeah. So, but I think
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that the pen is it's very close. I think the concept is there, but like I said, it's hard to replicate, the paint texture, but the color is definitely spot on.
They look great. Um, and actually, I'm not sure if I can tell this already, but I will do it anyway. So we had an interview with Mont Blanc earlier this year, last year, 2022. We had an interview with Alessandra. She's the director of writing of Mont Blanc, and she announced that the Mont Blanc Patron of Art series was ending, or was ended actually, and that in 2023 a new series was announced to replace this amazing Patron of Art series. And this is called, I'm not sure, but I think the Masters of Art, something like that.
Oh,
Long story short, the first edition, but I'm not sure if I can tell this actually, or
of
that
course
they
you
will.
can. It's just
Yeah, I don't know.
us. Go ahead.
Yeah. Um, it has to do something with this pen. And
So
that's
they're
all
Beep,
gonna
what I
make
beep,
say.
a.
beep, 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 beep.
So
So
what you're saying is they're going to
the
make a series based on artists, visual artists?
yeah, so I saw it. So Montblanc is a website for their collectors, and there they show the new limited editions already. And on January 1st, they show there for the new Patron of Art series, which is called, I think, Masters of Art, but I forgot. Um, and the first edition
Which is
is
entirely
honoring.
different than Patron of Arts, right?
Yeah, no,
Right.
it's wait. Let me check. Now I have to
Something
look it up. Now I
completely
have
else.
to look it up. Wait, wait, wait.
Well, the patron is the one that supports the artist, and the artist is the one that creates. So
And
maybe
maybe
Now I
they
have
now
to
they
look
all
it up.
graduated to masters.
Now,
That's why it's now
master.
Masters
That's
of Art. That's
right. So then,
logical.
yeah. So you
Yeah,
have three,
yeah,
different levels of
yeah.
collector pens.
That makes complete sense.
Totally, totally.
But could also be more than visual artists, right? Could also be composers and poets and so on.
Right.
Maybe.
Definitely literary. Or have they done a literary series before of writers and
I mean,
authors?
they had writers and they had the musicians and all of that, but I don't know if they were part of the art series or if that was another series. But they had all the jazz saxophonists
Right.
and
That's
a couple of
right.
writers. They had the Little Prince one and Disney and a couple of others.
all right, guys. Sorry, sorry. The thing is, I was sick. I was sick. I was sick, so I saw it just really quick, and then I went back to sleep on January 1st. But it's indeed Masters of Art,
Mhm.
and they do an homage on the first edition to a certain Dutch master, Vincent van Gogh. So that's really great,
Nice.
of course, for all the Dutch people. and also for all the art lovers, of course. But I'm not sure if I was allowed to tell this, and if I was not allowed, sorry for that, Mont Blanc. Don't blame me. But yeah, the information was out on the internet, and I saw it, and I reproduce it here. Sorry for that. Um,
I'm sure they'll
yeah, I have
forgive
to say
you.
that because they're really strict. Yeah.
Yeah, and Vanessa
All
also
right.
forced you a little bit. So
Yeah, Vanessa, she pushed me to tell this. So,
It's
you know,
peer pressure.
Vanessa's all to blame here.
It's my fault.
Yeah, it's, yeah, I cannot do anything about it. All right, let's go to the next subject, the good year's resolutions. And then, of course, the most pen related New Year's resolutions. Vanessa, would you like to start? What is your New Year's resolution for this year?
I believe that as far as pens are concerned, I'm going to try to be more choosy with what I buy, like buying more investment types of pens instead of just spending the money here and there on cheaper pens. So, you know,
Hmm.
something like that. I have way too many pens, so I'm trying to find a way to still enjoy buying pens, but not 1,000 pens each year, or as many as I end up buying.
How does your husband see your hobby? What does he think about seeing you buying all these pens?
He doesn't see them. He has no idea how many pens I have. My
Oh,
they
you hide
don't
it.
my family
You
makes fun of
hide
me. They
them
make
all.
fun of me about pens.
Why? I think I saw a video with you and your sister, right?
Yes, that
Making a
was my
review about a
sister.
pen once. Yeah.
She wanted to be in a video
So
with me,
they
and I said, okay.
did she video bomb it or what? I didn't.
Oh,
I
she
didn't
was
see anything.
great. She did the whole hand modeling thing.
yeah.
She and I are a lot alike. We're very, we grew up very goofy. We entertained ourselves. We didn't have a whole lot of
Actually,
money,
it
so we
was one
kind
of
of
your
make
best
up
videos,
things to do.
Vanessa.
Really, with my sister? Well, next time she visits, I'm going to do another video with her. She seemed to enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah. Mikhail, do you also have a brother or sister that you can use for your next video? Or
Yeah, I have a brother, but I need to fly him in from southern Germany. But let's see about that. But I have two kids, so I can maybe they can make do with those. It's also practical with two kids.
but that's child labor. That's not allowed.
Oh yeah. Sorry. But if they do it voluntarily, right? If I
Don't
bribe
do
them
that.
with
Don't do that.
sweets and they do it
You can bribe
voluntarily, then
them.
maybe it's okay.
Bribe them. Tell them you'll take them
That's
somewhere
okay. That's
fun.
okay. That's okay. Okay, I will come to that later. I have a question in mind for you, Mikhail. Mikhail,
Okay.
what is your good New Year's resolution?
I actually don't have any. I'm one of those people that don't believe in these New Year's resolution things because I always think that important life decisions aren't made on these big events. It's everyday life, so the decisions are made in the everyday. So I also don't like about this. I quit smoking. Now I go to the gym, and now I start becoming an entirely different person because I think if one wants to do that, one has the chance to do it every day. But I mean, pertaining to your question, my aim is to, as a pen reviewer, the pen collection can get pretty large. And some people
Hmm.
think that I have hundreds of pens or something like that, but it's actually not true because my own private pen collection is very, very overseeable. I
Only
think I
Lamy
own
2000
only
pens.
25
That's
pens.
it.
Only Langton 2000 pens. No, it's very few, and I think I want to keep going on that ride, and keep it small, and to be able to just keep it small. But still try a lot of pens, right? I mean, like I like this idea of this. There's this one guy, he founded this website. I forgot his name. I think he's based in the UK, where you can rent pens and try them out.
Yes.
Hmm.
So that's a
Yes.
cool concept, right? And then obviously
That's a
you can
great
buy pens at
concept.
Appelboom, and then if you don't
Yeah.
like them, sell them afterwards again or something like that. But I personally don't like to have too many pens that in the end I can't use. That's just me.
Hmm. No, that's really good. That's really good. That's pretty fair. No, so I had this question in mind for you, Michael. What is
Mhm.
the best video that you made? Because obviously you make YouTube videos, pen reviews, but what video turned out to be like your best video?
Hard question without looking it up. I think very surprisingly, one of my most watched and most successful videos is, I think it was the Waterman Deluxe or whatever that is called. I think it
Yeah,
was the Waterman Deluxe. That I didn't understand why that is so often watched. Maybe you can tell me. But then one of the ones that has received
I have
most
looked.
comments was actually a video that I have once done on how to make your own notebook inserts for like with Rhodia and Clairefontaine paper, and then you can use it in your traveler's notebook. Or you can use it in all kinds of other notebook covers.
Mhm.
And that was a very, very successful one. A lot of people have watched it and commented on it and mailed me about it and all that kind of stuff.
Do you keep track on that? Vanessa, you as well, because you have of course also YouTube videos. Do you keep track on, okay, this one is my best video, this one has the most comments, or do you just drop them online and never look back at it?
I don't really look back at them. I just put it out there and see what happens. I do check my comments. I check the email that it goes to, and I kind of filter through them that way. Sometimes I get some not so nice comments, and I just choose to delete that. So
Oh
it's
yeah,
kind of easier to do that.
Really?
But yeah, I get some really ugly, yeah, really ugly comments
How is
same
that
here,
sometimes.
possible?
same here.
I just think people get, I don't know, I
You
think
too,
they get
Michael?
kind of salty.
How?
I think
Yeah?
it's like it happens with all the reviewers. I think Stephen Brown talked about it. Other people talked about it. I think it's just like a bunch of idiots out there that don't know what to do with their life, and then they just feel entitled to comment all kinds of things, ranging from with such an ugly handwriting, why do you even dare to become a reviewer? Or something
Yes.
like that. And then I try to explain people that a guitar player does also not be able to build a guitar or something like analogies like that, but people don't seem to understand that. But most of the time, I actually don't even engage
Mhm.
with those type of comments. I just don't because why would I?
Same
Actually, I
here.
had this
But it happens. Yeah.
conversation with another retailer lately, but this is not about YouTube comments, but more. So we are struggling with reviews that people can easily place online, uh, especially anonymous. That's really a strange
Mm.
thing. And I was discussing this, like, why do stores have the? Is there a possibility for stores to leave reviews for stores, but not? We cannot leave reviews about customers. So sometimes a customer come in the store here, and I don't know if it's wise to tell, but sometimes you just want to say to the customer like, "Hey, go and shop somewhere else because I don't want to help you because the attitude that you come into the store here, I don't like. Just go to another pen store. There are not a lot of them in the Netherlands, but just go somewhere else and buy your stuff somewhere else if you're not happy with what we do." But yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
obviously you cannot say that because then you know that like within a few minutes you have a bad review somewhere online. But it's so easy nowadays to
And I think it's
to
also like that.
uh,
All the pen
to
reviewers,
to
perhaps I can't speak on Vanessa's behalf, but I mean, I guess all of us we do this in our free time. It's
Hmm.
free to
yeah.
people, right? And I guess like I'm personally I'm open to and perhaps many others as well to constructive criticism if somebody means
Yeah,
well
of
and
course.
but most of then that's fine. But I think we all
Hmm.
are. But most of the time you just read right away that it's actually comes from a well-intended place. It's people that just want to diss you or think that you feel bad otherwise. To all the people who comment mean things on my videos, keep doing it. I don't feel bad about it at all. They make me smile, so keep it coming.
Good for you.
So everybody that's watching this video right now, go over to Michael, his channel, swiftly,
Yeah,
and write the worst comment below
yeah.
all his videos, please. It makes his day.
So, and
And
the worst comment will get the free pen from Joost Appelboom. Wins a prize.
yeah, for sure, for sure. We have to do a
Now it's a
contest about it. Like,
contest.
please, right? Yeah, make the worst comment below, and then we will give a prize. We will figure something out. That is a great idea. To
That's funny.
give something negative a positive vibe, and then we can just
Yeah,
all laugh about it. But
love it.
no, honestly, it is Steven actually. Indeed, I think he made a video about it or something. But
Yeah,
I think most people don't realize how much time reviewers put into their videos, and they do it all in their free time and don't get anything about it. It's
Can I
just their
make a
hobby,
comment about Steven
and
real
they're not.
quick?
If it's a short one, then it's allowed.
It's a short one. I
If it's a
just want to
positive
say
one as well.
because it is. It is. I think he's very genius about the way he handles these people who write in horrible things. This was like a couple years ago, but someone wrote in and told him that he was so stoic. Why are you so stoic? And what he did is he turned around and he made a whole YouTube series about stoicism, and he's still doing it. And it's like he is trolling this person for years. He's just he's such a genius.
But it's also his profession, right?
It
So
is.
it
It's
is
part of
it
his
is part of
profession,
his
but it's just like
profession.
he turned that one
Yeah.
comment into this giant troll session. I mean, it's just he makes me laugh. He's very funny.
But that's the only way I think how you can handle all that negativity. Make it something positive, make it something to laugh about it, because otherwise, everybody it's yeah, it's not good, and it's really sad to see in this writing community that there are still people that have these kind of feelings, while it's just a hobby. It's
Right.
yeah. I don't know. It's not a first world problem, as far as I know. But yeah, so I wanted to say that. Thank you that I was able to speak up.
You got that off your chest now.
Um,
Good.
yeah, finally, it was really heavy. All 2022 it was there, but now finally in this first week
Just
of
let it go, man.
2023, I finally.
yeah.
Yeah, thank you,
Just ventilate. If there's anything more, Joost, we are here. Just
We're all here for you.
thank you, appreciate that. I like that. Michael, other question for you. Do you
hmm?
visit pen shows?
uh, I have actually never visited a pen show. I would like to, but I have never visited one. I think all the time when I was interested in it, there was either a business trip coming in between or this COVID thing that we all heard about that lasted quite a while. But I think if I think the closest pen show stuff that should be close to me is the Netherlands. So my aim is to visit the next pen show in the Netherlands that I can make it to.
I think there's something
You're
happening.
welcome.
I don't
You're
know if
more
it's
than
near
welcome.
you. There's Paper World is coming up the first weekend
Yeah,
of
yeah, that's
yeah. So
in
there's like
Frankfurt, I think,
huge
or
stuff going on with
most of the
that.
time it's in Frankfurt. Yeah, that's a
Well, I've
good idea. I
heard,
could go to Paper
yeah.
World.
So I mean, if you can go to Paper World, that'd be awesome.
I was at Paper World back in the days when I was still a stationery shop manager. Then I went to Paper World, but that was 20 years ago.
Yeah, no, paper world is more for how do I say this? For the retailers. So it's not really for end
Mm.
consumers, but it's more for retailers, and it's really cool. I was there once, but you have a really big hall, uh, with, of course, like the regular brands like Caveco, Esterbrook, stuff like that. But there's also a really big hall, but really a big hall with all
So it's huge,
these
is what you're
tiny
saying.
little parts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's huge.
with all these tiny little parts, that you need to make a stapler, or that you need for your ballpoint pen. But all these little
Oh,
parts, you can find them there, and they're all Asian people over there. And if you come there and you don't know what's going on there, you think like, what are these people selling? Well, they're all tiny little parts to complete pens. So what brands like, I don't know, I would just say a brand now. I don't know if they buy it from there, but let's say Caveco. They go to the hall there and then they talk to suppliers from China or other Asian countries to seek there for I don't know, just a spring that
Maybe a
they need
spring
for
for a
their
ballpoint
ballpoint pen,
pen or
for
something.
example. Exactly. Yes. Yes. Two great minds think alike, eh, Michael? So
Yeah, I just wanted to say it.
it's a really interesting show, but it's more for retailers and wholesale than for end consumers. For
Well,
end
I know that
consumers,
Kenro is
the pen
actually
shows you have.
doing something to involve people who are attending. They have something going
Hmm.
on, some big collaboration between them and Ferris Wheel Press, the stationery
Okay.
ink people, and they're actually
Yeah.
throwing like on Friday, February 3rd, which I got an invitation to, but I can't make it. Which I was like, and they know I can't make it. Which I was like, why did you send me the invite? But anyway, the over in Frankfurt, they're actually doing a mixer to launch this. So they're involving people who are in attendance over there. Did you get
Hmm.
an invite, Joost, to this?
Of course not. I never
Oh,
got invitations for anything. I always have to
wow.
invite myself.
Well, this is awkward.
Yeah, it's what can I do? But I will be on vacation then
I'll send
anyway.
you my
So
invitation.
if Ryan, if you're watching, don't send me invitations. Don't do that. Don't do that. No. All right. The show is almost ending, so I have to go quickly to the next part of this episode. It will be talking about the new products.
New products.
So the first product that I wanted to talk about, which Vanessa already stole from me, it is the 149 curve nib. It came in our store, a lot of pieces, but we sold also a lot of them already, so we don't have a lot of them left. But Vanessa, maybe you can tell a little bit more about the 149 curve nib now that you have it there anyway.
Well, what would you like to know about this?
Tell us everything about this pen.
Well,
Sell us this
it's
Everything.
pen.
sell the
S-
pen.
Sell us this
Okay.
pen like
Well,
my like Michael sold us the Lamy 2000.
okay. I don't know. He had a lot of enthusiasm about that pen. Well, first of all, what's going to sell this pen and what people will pay attention to is that little emblem on the finial. Of course, oh, it's a Mont Blanc. Wow.
Hmm.
Ooh. But which, I mean, Mont Blanc, they're nice. Hold on a second. I have to polish it. It's got
Really
fingerprints
important.
on it.
But tell us a
It's
bit
very
more about
important.
the nib because the nib is the most important part. Nib is the most important part of this fountain pen.
There's a close up action there. Um, well, it's the regular size of a 149. It has the precious resin. It's
Hmm.
very precious. But that's what. So I didn't buy this for that. I bought this because the nib is so special and it's different, and it's not like
Hmm.
uh, your typical nib that comes with a Mont Blanc 149. I got it because it has something special and it's a limited edition, a limited release. And, I was just more curious to try this nib out and see how it performs. And yeah, once I tried it, I was like, cool. This is actually a lot better than some of those specialty nibs that have come out from. Sailor had a zoom nib that was intended to make all kinds of line variation and supposed to be great for people who like to sketch. But it ended up not being so special, and it was just one big giant broad line to me. And I ended up getting it ground down to an architect nib. So, but this actually is, to me, it actually fulfills that promise of being something different and lots of variation. So it does
Hmm.
excite me very much. Was that good? Did I sell it?
Very good. Do you also have the calligraphy nib, the other nib of the
I
149
don't.
Mont Blanc special nib series? Not okay.
No, I don't. I would
So
love
I
to
have bad
try it
news
though.
for you then, because it's not available anymore. So, or
Well,
at
you
least for
just
now.
ruined my day.
No.
Maybe in the future they will get
Maybe
it back for
I
you
could.
some way.
Yeah,
That
that
would be
would be
nice.
great.
Well, that was an interesting one.
Yeah, you wrote with it, right, Michael, or not?
No, I didn't, but I wanted to
Oh,
try it also, but couldn't get my hands on one of them. But I know that there's not so many apart from Aurora and maybe Noodlers or so. There's not so many modern companies that make flexi pens. So I can only imagine that a lot of people were literally on it, because otherwise you have to
Hmm.
go to the second-hand used vintage pen market if you wanna
yeah,
if
you
you
have
wanna
FlexNip
get flex
nowadays
snips.
on the Leonardo fountain pens, of course. You have Scribo
Ah, the
fountain
Leonardo.
pens
Okay,
with FlexNips, so they're quite. It's more and more getting out of there, so that's really good. Luckily,
but the Pilot Justus
um,
as well, I think, has this adjustable thingy that makes it
yeah, but
kind of
it's not
flexy.
really a FlexNip. It's more.
No,
It's more about the feedback that the nips gives, and not really about the flex. So it's not really a flex nip. We cannot call it a flex nip because
no,
there
it
are
is not.
rules, and
Yeah, there are
they're
rules,
not.
and we got that here.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. They're not part of the flex nip clip. So the 149 curve nip, it just came into the store. We received a lot of them, already sold a lot of them, and we still have a few of them left. So if you want them, make sure to head over to our website and buy them now. Another new product that I would like to announce, but it's not on our website yet, but it will be later this month. So this is like a sneak peek that I'm giving you already. Is a really small brand. It's from Hamburg, and it is founded by the guy, the person who was in charge of all the designs of the Mont Blanc writing instruments for I think 20 or 30 years, something like that. But for a really long time, he was involved, or he was responsible for the designs of all the Mont Blanc writing instruments, and now uh, he's doing his own brand. So it's a really small brand, and I cannot tell a lot about it yet, but more will come.
Sounds super cool.
And
Very interesting.
Yeah.
it is really interesting. It's really cool. It's not a big brand. He has now 4 or 5 designs, something like that, and we will dive more into that when it's on our website. And but it's really cool, and I'm really excited that we are actually one of their first retailers who are actually uh, uh, selling their product. So that's really cool.
Fantastic.
Vanessa, before we are ending the show, would you like to ask Michael a final question?
Sure. Well, I was going to ask what your favorite pen brand was to review, but I think I know the answer to that now.
Ah, that's the easy one.
Well, the shirt underneath the shirt thing kind of totally explained what it is too. But I guess
Michael, can you show your tattoo of Lamy as well?
so,
Like Lamy here and Pelican there, so depends a little bit.
Yeah, nice.
well, I was gonna say, I mean, it's always kind of interesting to find out how someone gets started in, reviewing pens and sharing your views of pens with the world. So, how did you get started reviewing pens and ink? What got you into that rabbit hole, sharing information with the world?
That's an interesting question. I mean, like, I think I have been dealing with pens for a very, very long time because it was actually my first job that I had to sell pens about 23 or 24 years ago. And then I think while I was doing my PhD, I was just searching for a pastime that I can combine with writing my PhD and that I can do at a convenient, without having to go to a class or something like that, just something that I could do conveniently whenever I have time and whenever time allows. And then I was thinking, if I'm writing with those pens all day anyway and build up a little bit of expertise around those, and since I'm dealing with pens since almost like 25 years, um, why not speaking about them on YouTube and Instagram and so forth? And I think that's how this whole thing has just started. And then in the beginning, it was just very small little blog and not many followers and nothing. And it just grew a little bit bigger over time. And then I got to know fantastic people such as the people at Caveco or Joost, of course, and others. And then I just found it fantastic that this whole blogging thing actually allows you to, get to look behind the curtains of the industry. You get to know fantastic retailers, and I was part of a retailer many years ago. And then over the time, I got to know the director of engineering at Diplomat in Kuhnevalde. Sometimes I talk with him on the phone, right? And I knew the marketing people at Pelican, and then I came up with like series like such as, I don't know if you've seen it, but I have like a written series, which is the Inside Stationery series, where I then said, like, instead
Yeah.
of reviewing pens all the time, let me talk to the people who design the stationery that we love. And what I've done is, among one of these series was actually to interview Wolfgang Fabian, who is the designer of the Lamy Safari, one of the most iconic fountain pens of the world. So you get to meet all those fantastic people, and then he talked to me about his design days at Braun and so forth, when he met Dieter Rams and all of that. And I interviewed the designer of the Diamond ink packaging and so forth. So I just I just found it more and more interesting to like use this hobby basically as a as an outlet to really engage with that with this whole stationary world on a deeper level. So I think, and that's what just still keeps me going. Just getting to know all the great people, and get invited by Joost and talking to you, Vanessa. And I think it's it's just the community aspect of it that I find interesting, and sharing this information with the people out there who also engage with the stationery. I think that's just something that I find is the next step from keeping the hobby to myself to just share the happiness about the hobby with other people.
For sure, for sure. I think it's the people in the community who share in this hobby that I love them. There's so many wonderful people I've met too. So that's
Truly, truly.
and including Yoast. Yoast is
Glad.
pretty cool too. So
Yeah, Joost is extremely cool.
Even Joost is cool. Thank you for that,
Nobody
Vanessa.
invites him to
Thank you so
parties,
much.
but he is very, very cool.
That's okay. That's okay. I think this is a really
Oh no, maybe
positive
to
note
parties you
to,
get invited. It was fairs that you don't get invited to, right? Parties maybe you get
yeah. No, parties also not invited. I never get invitations.
invited. Okay.
Never. Never. All right. So this is a really positive note to end the show with, I think. Vanessa, thank you so much for being our co-host again for this
it's my
episode,
pleasure.
and we will see you
Thanks, Vanessa.
next week
Thank
on
you.
the next episode. Michael, thank you so much for doing this together with us, and for all your time and knowledge that you share with us about writing instruments and stationery in general. And thank you so
Thanks
much
for the
for the
invitation,
time
Joost.
that you
It
are
was
here
my
on the
pleasure.
show. Yeah. And well, maybe we see you another time. Maybe actually at the Dutch Pen Show. We will talk about it later. No worries. All right.
Yes,
Thank you,
for
everybody,
sure.
so much for watching. And we see you
Bye
next
bye.
week. Bye bye.